Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the Truth Talk podcast. I'm back here with MI.
What's up, guys?
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Diddy being sued by his ex Cassie. Let's get right into it. The music industry is a dark, twisted place, and what's being revealed about Diddy seems to prove all of that. It has only been a little over a month since Diddy was in the headlines for his possible involvement with what happened to Tupac. Now, Diddy is back in headlines again for even worse allegations. Chances are most of you guys already heard that Diddy's ex-girlfriend of many years and former artist Cassie Ventura is suing him for an undisclosed amount for alleged abuse she faced at the hands of Diddy when they were together. I read this lawsuit and the disturbing allegations within it, and if what it's accusing Diddy of is true, this proves all I have said about him in the past. Diddy is a gatekeeper who has become a monster with his power. These allegations are truly disturbing and alarming. Now, I'm gonna try my best to go over these allegations without getting in trouble with YouTube. You guys can find the full allegations online. Just simply Google Diddy and it will come up. According to Cassie, this story goes all the way back to the start of her career. Back in 2005, when Cassie was 19 years old, she met Diddy, who was 37 years old. Diddy quickly signed her to his Bad Boy record label to a 10-album deal. This put Cassie's career in the hands of Diddy for at least the next 10 to 15 years. According to Cassie, not long after Diddy signed her is when his advances towards her started. Cassie claims that Diddy at the time routinely made advances towards her, which she rejected. She even claimed that she was repulsed by Diddy being interested in her due to the wide age gap of 18 years between the two. Cassie stated that Diddy didn't give up even though she had a boyfriend at the time and kept on trying to convince her to give him a chance. He would eventually convince her to start a relationship with her, and not long after this, the problems would begin. Cassie stated that once the relationship started, he started taking control of her life, making it harder for her to be able to get away. Diddy would buy her a car, rent her an apartment, buy her expensive gifts, and take full control of her life. This made it so Diddy not only had control of her music career, but now her entire life. Cassie also stated that during these times, she would be forced to take substances with Diddy, who introduced her to these substances she had never taken before. When this started, so did the mistreatment. Cassie alleges that Diddy would routinely put hands on her for no valid reason. She claims that he would just be off many different substances that would enrage him and would take it out on Cassie. Cassie also claims that Diddy during this time would routinely R-word her to make things even darker. While this was all happening, Cassie alleges that Diddy started requesting strange activities from her. She claims that Diddy would tell her he wanted to start experimenting, stating that he started to have her look for men for pay to engage in activities with her while he watched and filmed it all. She also claims that while these activities went on, he would only watch and keep his hands to himself, if you get what I'm saying. Cassie claims that she would be forced to take heavy amounts of substances while this was going on as well. She also stated that Diddy called these activities freak-offs, claiming that when it began, it would last days. According to Cassie, Diddy became obsessed with these freak-offs and had her do them routinely, having her look for men with big junk online. Cassie also claims that during this time is when she started to try to step away from Diddy. This is when she became romantically interested in the rapper Kid Cudi. This allegedly made Diddy very upset, in which he would then threaten to make Cudi's car go boom, which allegedly ended up happening not long after Diddy made those threats. Cassie claims she stood with Diddy at first because she was scared he would destroy her career or even worse. But she also claims she got to a point where enough was enough and wanted out. She claims Diddy wouldn't allow her to leave and used his team to keep her from doing so. According to her, she was trapped and Diddy wasn't planning on letting her go. These allegations are truly disturbing, and I didn't even mention all of them, as some of them are way too dark. Diddy is being sued by Cassie, but it's also being reported that Diddy might be getting investigated criminally by the NYPD. TMZ reported that Diddy was being investigated in a secret operation, but it wasn't specific what this investigation was for. Considering the timing of the investigation, it has to be for this situation, as they claim it's for an SA case and not for what happened to Tupac. To me, these allegations show us what these gatekeepers are really into in the industry. This is actually a breaking news update. After me and MI finished recording this podcast while I was putting it together, reports actually started coming in that Diddy and Cassie already settled this case. It is being reported that they settled outside of court. It is unknown exactly what the settlement was for, but they both released statements with Cassie saying, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control." And Diddy responded, "I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. We have decided to resolve this matter amicably, and I wish Cassie and her family all the best love." To me, this is extremely interesting, as we never see a case get settled that quickly. But to me, it even makes it more suspicious, because the allegations are already out there and the damage is already done. Everybody knows what Diddy has done to this woman. Even him settling at this point outside of court isn't going to make anything better. But it makes me feel that he is settling because there's much more that she could reveal about him. He's doing it to keep her quiet at this point, and it's alarming because that means even though she's already exposed all of this, there's way more that she's keeping hidden, and that's what Diddy probably paid her for to keep quiet. The part of the lawsuit that got my attention the most was the freak-offs that Diddy would make Cassie be involved in. This further proves Diddy is an occultist and is into sex magic. According to the lawsuit, Diddy would make her and the guy she would hire take many different substances. Then he would make them wear a masquerade mask while they participated in activities for days. If you look into Aleister Crowley and his religion of Thelema, this is exactly what takes place at their lodges. What Diddy was doing with Cassie is a rite or a ritual. The fact that Diddy changed his name to Brother Love also proves that Diddy is a Thelemite. Thelemites believe that love is the law, love under will, and Diddy calling himself Brother Love while hosting giant celebrity hookup parties tells us all we need to know of what he worships. The most interesting about all of this is that a few weeks ago, I reported that one of Diddy's artists had come out and said that the only reason Diddy was giving all his artists their rights back was because he wanted them to sign NDAs.
The golden question.
What's the golden question?
Nothing. You keep mentioning Diddy. I want to tell you about I just saw the whole with Bad Boy. He gave the rights back to a lot of Bad Boy artists. Any comment?
Yeah. I'll talk about this.
The floor is yours.
This banner that he's painted himself with all weekend long has been the Labor Day talk in my world, that he's paying back all of the Bad Boy artists. I just want to throw you the facts, okay?
Sure.
The deal that we were offered, and when I say we, not every artist got it, but this is what it is. You can have your rights back to your music after Puff went under, somebody else bought our catalog. So this is long after we have 2 double platinum albums, $15 an album. On 2 million albums is, what is the math on that? 48 million? Yes. $48 million somebody made on me. I did not make anything. When the deal is, when this benevolent man who's now had a change of heart and decided to pay us as talent and also as writers, it's about $800, $900, some in the hundreds, okay? And in order to get that, I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Jan Combs, or Justin Combs' music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
She stated that by signing these contracts, that they were also signing NDAs, and yes, they would get their rights back, but at the same time would be giving up the rights to speak anything negative about Diddy. Who's one of those artists that was signed to Diddy? Cassie. So think about that and let that sit in your head. The only reason Diddy started giving his former artists their rights back was because he knew this was coming and he wanted to be able to convince Cassie to sign an NDA and not be able to speak, something that he already had made her done in the past. But it clearly appears he was trying to convince her to sign this contract and be in good terms with him to stop her from talking, you know?
Yeah, look at Young Miami. It's the same situation. She's young. He's giving her her own shows, buying her cars, buying her bags, giving her own TV show on Revolt. And also at the awards, she's carrying signs. She's holding up signs saying daddy. You could clearly see that she's under his control. And Diddy is using his gatekeeper privilege to be able to put in positions so she stays in a relationship with him.
Young Miami is a perfect example, you're right. She is much younger than him. I believe like at least 20 years or something. And Diddy is doing the same thing he's did with Cassie. He got her on a deal with Revolt. He's giving all these gifts like you mentioned. And on top of this, all of the stuff that's been reported of Diddy doing with her and all this weird stuff, we know it's the same exact scenario. Diddy is just taking advantage of a younger artist, using his power, using his money to get what he wants from her, and moving on to the next. Eventually, the next younger girl that gets in, that catches Diddy's eye, that he can trap in the same type of manipulation, he's gonna do. Yeah, he's gonna give you gifts, and yeah, he'll give you money, but it's gonna come at a dark price. Just look at what happened to Cassie. I'm pretty sure what happened to Cassie is the same thing that's happening in Young Miami. She's just not gonna talk about it right now because she's benefiting from it.
She's definitely benefiting from it. You remember back in the days when he had the show Making the Band? Aubrey O'Day, she was on the show Making the Band. She publicly backs Cassie after Diddy allegations surfaced. We already see what's going on, but the people don't want to admit to it. They don't want to see what's right in front of them. Diddy's a master manipulator. He controls you in every way possible. I feel like he's one of those guys, once you're his, you know? He owns you. He makes you do all these weird, inappropriate things. It's kind of sickening to me, if you ask.
Yeah, and you know, the way he manages to make this all happen, is with money and NDAs. You know, he has so much money and power that people want to work with Diddy because they want a better life. They want the privilege of working with such a person like Diddy. But working with Diddy means you got to sign an NDA. All of his employees are made to sign NDAs. Even Cassie was made to sign an NDA. Not that long ago, there was a situation with his chef. His chef came out and sued them, and it was settled out of court. She got paid off, and she definitely got paid her millions because she routinely saw Diddy participating in these same strange activities, claiming that she even walked in on Diddy while him and other celebrities and other executives were in there doing their thing, and she saw Diddy without anything on and was scarred by it. She said that Diddy asked her if he liked what she saw, and she was repulsed by this. She walked out of there. Not long after this, she was set up for a staged robbery where they accused her of stealing one of Diddy's watches just so that they can fire her. And she would then file a lawsuit against Diddy that ended up getting resolved with Diddy settling out of court. So it proves that something definitely happened there. But my thing is about all of this is the timing with all this. Why is all this happening now? Why is the Keefe D situation happening now, a situation that heavily affects Diddy? Why is the Cassie situation happening now, a situation that heavily affects Diddy? Cassie was affected by Diddy long ago, but now she's bringing it up. And I think it all goes back to the lawsuit between Diddy and Ciroc. Remember, I have spoken about this several times. It is not a coincidence that Diddy gets in problems with the elite, decides to sue the elite and claim racial discrimination and say that they were discriminating against his brand. And all of a sudden, now Diddy has all these problems. And then Diddy filed another lawsuit claiming that they were unjustly pursuing Diddy and trying to ruin his reputation. So Diddy even admits himself that the elite are trying to come after him because he sued them. To me, it's not a coincidence. I believe it's all connected. Now, does it change the fact that Diddy did these things? No, not at all. I believe Diddy definitely did this to Cassie. I also believe Diddy did what they claim he did to Kim Porter as well.
The Kim Porter situation especially. They reported that she passed from a pneumonia. So what you think happened? Listen, I feel like anybody that gets in Diddy's way, he will get you touched. He has the money, he has the people, he has the elite behind him. So I see what you're saying while all this is happening because he's suing the elite. Diddy's gonna be a puppet forever. He's gonna be under them forever. He's gonna do whatever he wants. He's gonna get away with everything he wants, including this thing with Pac. As long as he falls in line, he's never gonna be touched. Remember when Shine took 10 years for Diddy, for the situation that happened in the club when he was Jennifer Lopez. The guy's untouchable. Throw you a couple $1 million, yo, here, say you did this for me. And going back to the lawsuit, I read an article that said that one time he hurt Cassie so bad that he sent her on a 3-week vacation to Hawaii just so no one could see or question how her face got like that.
Yeah, you know, I also read in the lawsuit itself that Diddy would hide her in hotels for weeks and then use the money to buy her gifts to try to keep her from talking and had his team keep everything hidden. It's just obvious at this point. Like, there's nobody that can see this and deny that Diddy's a monster. He's obviously in there doing things that he doesn't want coming out and is slowly but surely coming out. What he did to Tupac, what he might have done to Kim Porter, which I believe he did, what he did to Cassie, what he even tried to do to Kid Cudi. He tried to eliminate Kid Cudi because Cassie wanted to date him. Like I said, the whole situation to me seems like an attack on Diddy. And the reason why I believe this as well is because Cassie's suing Diddy for money, and Diddy's lawyer actually confirmed that he offered her $10 million, but that she reported to Diddy that she wanted 30. So they didn't settle. But the thing is, I feel like this still connects back to Diddy suing the owners of Ciroc. We know how the industry works. Cassie was a part of the industry. She's been in the industry for years. Even if she was dealing with this stuff with Diddy, she knows what's going on in the industry and she participated in it in a sense. I wouldn't be surprised if those at Ciroc went over to Cassie, offered her a large sum of money to come out with these accusations now, the same way they put in motion what needed to be done to go after Keefe D and after Diddy for what happened to Pac. This to me seems like a power play. They're trying to tell Diddy, stay in your place or we're going to get you out of the game. And Diddy is not trying to step down. Diddy is trying to stand his ground because he believes he has enough money and power at this point. But we know how the elite work. They play very dirty.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more, to be honest, man. It makes a lot of sense. And after knowing everything he's done, the things that's been out, it comes up in the media for a couple of days and it's gone every time when it comes to Diddy. Whether it's when he got caught with another man, everything, it's a pop up and a pop out. is quick.
Everybody has done said that Diddy has done questionable things and weird things and he's disturbing and nothing happens to him. But now he sues these people and everything is happening to him. These are the real elite. Diddy is not a real elite. He's a gatekeeper for hip hop. He is in between the hip hop artists and the people in the industry and the elite. He is the one that in between those two, but he is not an elite. He is definitely hip hop royalty. Of course, he's very big in hip hop, but the elite are bigger than hip hop. The elite are what own the world. They have everything. And this liquor company is one of those huge companies because it's not just a rock. It's a liquor brand that owns a bunch of other name brands. He is suing them and saying that they discriminated against him. These are the billionaires that own everything. They can get Diddy out the way. Diddy is dealing with this and he's trying his best to overcome it, but I don't think it's going to happen. To me, it's clear that he might go down unless he turns around and asks for forgiveness.
So one thing that I found real weird though was that Diddy forced Cassie to call him Papa, which was what she used to call her grandfather. That shows like a display of power. He's showing her, I run you.
Exactly, and that's what Diddy has done. If you even listen to what Diddy's accused of doing to his other artists that were even male, he likes to show dominance. He likes to show that he's the man, that he's the one in charge. And that explains it all. Diddy is power hungry. Diddy wants to be like this. He is not doing it out of circumstance. He is doing it because this is what he wants to be. And this is why they give him the position of gatekeeper, because he's exactly what they want running the industry. It's obvious to me that Diddy's behind so much of the evil that happens in the industry. So many people are affected by Diddy. So many young artists have to deal with Diddy. And it's not going to end until either he's gone or they get him out the way if he doesn't fall in line. But that's it for this episode, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.